really excited to have Ian here today to talk about his project that he's been building out. As he mentioned, these guys went live with CrolonMars back in, he believes, May 13th, 2022. So they've been building for quite some time. I mean, I'm really impressed just with the longevity, especially the fact that they've been on Cronos. And as we mentioned, the big hype with that, I think, was around April, just before the Lunaterra collapse in May of 2022. So that was when that chain really started to pop off. And why I say I got a lot of respect for the fact that you're still building is because we understand the way that chains and volume functions in the space. And Crow definitely hasn't been the driver for volume, but that hasn't deterred your development. And that's what I really like about this one. And then you did introduce MarSwap into a bit more of a higher in demand chain with Shibarium. And I know those guys are really kind of starting to cook. There's been some coins launching in that network that's starting to bring some volume and some hype back. So it's, again, a good combination of utilities. And I know kind of the crown jewel behind this, if I could call it that, which I think, talking to you and seeing the work that's been put in, is your metaverse and some of the partnerships and collabs that you guys are looking to build that out. So, the visual reviews, the graphics that I've seen, really clean. I love that little animated video you sent me, kind of gave me some Fortnite vibes. So yeah, just, again, really cool stuff. The runtime here has been solid. We've had some good exposure with Ian, especially through MarSwap and our spaces. And yeah, he's just been building. They're live on a couple of chains, as you just alluded. They've had some big shout outs with the names of crypto.com, Chainlink, and some others, some of the builders over at Polygon. I know that's a chain I personally love when it comes to gamification, the metaverse world. So yeah, without further ado, I'll pass the mic over to Ian. Make sure you guys have the website up alongside. There's a lot of documentation you can find in there. So yeah, just kind of pull up some reference materials, jump into the community. And, from what these guys have built and where their market cap is at, definitely looks pretty undervalued. And I'm excited to kind of highlight with Ian today why and some of the stuff that they have coming in the future. So I'll pass you the mic, man, if you want to introduce yourself and then jump right into, CrolonMars and MarSwap.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know what? It's been a long journey. Myself, I come into crypto a little bit wet behind the ears. I got into Shiba Inu, kind of like, I didn't even know what I was investing in. I didn't even know much about crypto, but I always had a background in CCTV coding and C++ and stuff. And then I was just literally playing Call of Duty one night, and there were a guy on there that said, "Hey, yeah, did you hear a Dogecoin, and this is going to be the next Dogecoin and stuff?" So I kind of just chucked a little bit of money in it. I think I chucked no more than about $500 at it or something. I got billions of tokens. Anyway, I forgot. I sent tokens to my friends and told all them, and then I totally forgot about it for 6 months. And then I came back when they were doing AMAs and stuff. I got chatting with some of the team, actually. I've got a pretty good friendship with Shaitoshi Kasuma, the Shiba Inu lead. I've got some exciting stuff. And this is why, we continue to build and build these relationships all the time. So when I invested in Shiba, I made some good money. I'm not going to say how much, but I wanted that again. So I was looking on into DeFi and looking on the BSC chain, and I brought two of my friends into crypto. It's a mad story, and I chucked them like 20 BNBs each, and we're like, let's try and make it on this. Let's try and make this next 1,000. And we were buying like loads of BSC projects from Feg to Cheems, and then it started going downhill. I started realizing I'm putting more money in than I'm actually making. The founders coming on and saying, "Oh, due to Jeets, we can't carry on. We're going to have to relaunch." And I got rugged so many times. I lost so much money. And the money that I did have left, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put a team together and I'm going to build. And at the time, Croj was doing pretty well, and I always use crypto.com to to get out my Shiba Inu and that, because they ended up listing it. So looking at the Cronos chain and looking at the marketing that crypto.com were doing, they were getting stuff like Formula One and UFC partnerships. It just seemed that I looked for the next hyped meme coin, which were, after that, were Doge on Mars, right? Crypto.com listed Doge on Mars, and everyone were doing Crow or Co or Crow this. And on a phone call with the friends, they were like, you know what, let's do CrolonMars. We might be able to capture Crypto.com's attention and Elon Musk at the same time, because the two most things Elon Musk were tweeting about at the time were Dogecoin, which was obviously crypto, and sending humans to Mars. So we thought, let's go with a meme theme, but build the metaverse, build the Mars metaverse, give Elon Musk his land, and let him build in the CrolonMars metaverse what he intends to do in real life, but feature it in the metaverse. So this was the idea behind it. Everybody at the community, tag Elon, tell Elon to take his land. And the first thing we built was a play-to-earn game and 3D NFTs, what launched with the CrolonMars token, CLMRS, what launched like at 60k market cap. It went into the millions. It did all right. It's still doing all right today. We never, ever once left it. However, when the market started coming down, the crypto started crashing. So we focused on building. And, we have like a GameFi side now with a team of developers from around the world. You can come to CrolonMars and buy a play-to-earn game. You can even come to CrolonMars and request a metaverse or your own city in the CrolonMars metaverse. We actually built the metaverse out in Unity engine. We put it live where you could actually log in every 24 hours and actually mine a token and swap that token for ETH, because we created a liquidity pair for MarSwap ETH. So people could log in and purchase a miner and start mining for that and then sell that for ETH. But the graphics wasn't all that in Unity engine. So we decided to rebuild it all, even though there's still old metaverse is still live out there. It's not that many users. And Unreal Engine were just doing so much more for GameFi and crypto as a whole. Sorry about my notifications. For crypto as a whole. So we decided to start building in Unreal Engine. And there's some of the clips that I've shown you, what I sent to you privately. The public is not, it's not been shown to the public yet, but there will be promo cinematics being released and some very big news regarding the CrolonMars metaverse and Shiba Inu, but I can't say too much of that. A big day tomorrow, that's what I can say for me and some of the team members. We've got a huge professional meeting. And why the metaverse is actually, I overestimated how hard it would actually be to build, and I think everybody did, right? The internet kind of needed fixing before the metaverse can truly take place and everybody be in one place at one time. So I kind of underestimated it and didn't think how hard it would actually be. However, while we've been continuously building on the GameFi side, there were opportunities on the Shibarium ecosystem to build his own exchange, which is this you can see in front of me. But from this exchange, it's not just for Shibarium. It is the #1 DEX of Shibarium as of today. It is the biggest platform on Shibarium. Launchpad, token creator, I can go through all of these up here. You can see that they're all boxed out for you, and show you, they take you to different things. You've got create your own token with no coding experience. You can even create a 404, which we launched the other day. That's what I'm going to be talking about a little bit more on the 404, which is actually an NFT that you can sell directly into a liquidity pool. There's the ERC 404, which it's having some good success. At the minute, you can trade the NFT. You can view your NFTs on this page. I don't know if it's swap pages. Is it swap pages? Yeah. So you can view your NFT on this page here. They've got different NFTs, 404s. There's a token create. So as you can see on this part of the DEX, once you connect your wallet, you can create the ultimate token. Let's connect.
Yeah, no, it's pretty easy to use. It looks like as well.
It's pretty friendly user, and I think having these tools now, this helps people and crypto and a lot of people to be actually tokenize stuff in real life, especially the ERC 404. You can see on your right hand side down here, you've got your little template, and if you want to name it here, you'll see it come up on this side. So you can see what you're doing. You can name your token. You can deploy your own ERC 404, which we have got deployed at the minute is the CrolonMars ones. Let me see marketplace. We have them somewhere on here. I know we did.
With regards to the deployer tool, like, have you guys built in some of those like CA scanners and like audit like ability for people to get like the contract like auto audited, like even if it's like a quick one, just so that it's, people who are maybe buying into these launch tokens can have a little bit more of a comfort level built up?
Yeah, so we took that extra layer of security out. So on the DEX, we have actually got a license to KYC and audit any smart contracts with Verif. It's one of the biggest KYC companies in the world. We've got a license to the KYC and audit projects. So part of the token creator has been audited and it is safe, and you can request a KYC, but it's literally done through a third party, which is Verif, and you can get a KYC also to go with it, as these are the certificates that come with it. All the contracts and audits can be found in the Telegram. If you go in and /Gitbook, everything's up there to see. You can see all the contracts, the factories, the routers, the audits, the white paper. I think the Gitbook's pretty explanatory. It's a good read for people. If I went through it all now, we'd probably be sat here till midnight. But yeah, we've definitely got audits and, having this KYC and audit license just gives us that extra layer of security. Because you can't just get a license just like that. It has to be run through a limited company, which we operate with Verif, for us to be able to, and it's officially MarSwap. It's the KYC and audits officially through MarSwap, but not CrolonMars. It's MarSwap, the company, not CrolonMars. But we own MarSwap, so it comes as the ecosystem.
Yeah, no, and again, I think it makes sense kind of from the utility standpoint to align some of that with, with the more obvious utility name and product that, right, that you guys have. I know that you've added utility into CrolonMars, but if were to pick between CrolonMars and MarSwap, just from a strictly like branding or naming standpoint, it makes sense to kind of align that with the more utility sounding and adjacent projects. So, yeah, no, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing about it, the cool thing about it, we're not just limited to one chain. So I'm going to give you some alpha in a minute. So if you look on the chains that we support is Shibarium, Ethereum, BSC, Cronos, Base, and Binance Smart Chain. However, crypto.com is going to get a lot of attention. They're about to launch their L2. I don't know if anybody's seen it. We are in direct contact with them, and this is our test net. So yeah, up here you can see this is our test net. We've got the Cronos, ZK, EVM already on testnet, and we're already planning to build and have tools on there for when that goes live. So us being at front of the game, remember Cronos had a brilliant launch in the early days. I think the new ZK EVM zero knowledge L2 chain is going to absolutely go wild. I think Chris is smart, the founder of crypto.com, in what he's doing. He's took time over this bull run. He's not really wasted a hell of a lot of money trying to market it, but doing it just enough that people, when the chain goes live, is going to absolutely take crypto.com. I can see crypto.com being the number one exchange at some point, just because of how they're doing things. Also having access to crypto.com. Like next week, we have an AMA with Cronos Chain themselves, which is going to be interesting. I'm pretty excited.
What time is that scheduled for? If I don't have like anything conflicting in the schedule, I'd definitely love to pop in and listen.
Yeah, so it's every week. I ain't got the time yet, but it'll be on 1 week today. They had one today, and Comet and Croge and everybody were up there, and I was speaking to them, and I've been invited to the one next week. So as soon as I get the exact time and date, I'll send you the link for the space, but it is directly with Cronos Chain themselves.
I felt bad. I made kind of like a joke. I kind of like trolled Comet a little bit the other day, and I felt bad about it. Caesar's like, "Don't do that, man. He's a nice guy." But like, the first time I ever met him on a space, he's like, "I'm the smartest man in the world." His kind of style is really funny. But, you know him, like you've known him longer than me probably personally. So he's just like, I got a high Q of like 180. I'm never wrong. His vibe. And I loved it. So there's a player like he was supporting, and like it didn't end up going so well. I was like, baby, like what happened, man? I thought you're never wrong. I was just kind of trolling him, but I don't think he took it well. And I felt really bad about it. And I was like, yeah, that's my bad. I didn't mean any disrespect. I really like you. But like, I was just kind of throwing a little joke your way just based on, how he is, and I really like him. But yeah, I felt bad. And Caesar's like, don't do that, man. He's a nice guy. And I was like, okay, my bad. He's like, we got enough enemies out here. We don't need to piss off someone who we like and who likes us. I was like, fair point. My bad on that. But yeah, Comet's a solid dude. He's funny. He's funny to listen to.
Do you know what? I hadn't spoke to him for a long time. First time I heard him speak today on that space, and I don't know what they're doing. I think they're planning to do something with Ethereum. So I just caught the end of it today, but I know, we've been around a long time, so these names are always familiar, right? And there's always something going off. Is always interested in this space.
I know. I normally don't get involved in much of that stuff. I always joke, we got Caesar here. He can cause enough of a stir that I can just kind of sit back behind the scenes and do my thing with my AMAs. But Yeah, no, I did feel bad. And so, shout out to Comet. Love what you do. You're a funny dude. So don't take my joke as anything wrong. But yeah, no. So just had to plug that in, because I always felt bad. I'm not so much a troll, and that just should go to show. Like that was like a month ago, and I still feel bad about it. So, uh, yeah, no, he's a funny dude. But that's exciting for you guys. Like, the Croge, obviously back in 2022, as you highlighted earlier, like they kind of led the way. I forget what market cap they got to because it was so long ago, but they hit it kind of,
I think
tail end bull right at the cusp of the bear, because after those exchanges went down, it was a long crypto winter.
Yeah, I think they actually reached at the excess of 66 million. So we know that there's investors on the chain because the chain absolutely sent. They were at one point everything was just hitting 10 million above, 10 million, 20 million.
I will say to you, Ian, like we're up in Canada. There's not a ton of exchanges that are allowed. Unfortunately, Binance has been outlawed for a couple of years now. Coinbase is an option, but it's still very centralized. I did actually sign up for crypto.com. That was the first exchange I ever registered and, did the whole docs and everything for. Actually bought some Crow back when it was like 7 billion. And I got a nice entry because that was right before they announced the naming rights to the arena in LA. And then it shot up, I think, to like 22, 26 billion or something like that shortly after. So yeah, no, like, I personally have an experience with crypto.com. Was a pretty easy process to get registered as my first exchange, not knowing much about the onboarding and fiat off-ramp process at that point, because I was still very new. So yeah, like, again, very user-friendly. It is centralized. So I think that's one of the reasons maybe why some people avoid it, but it was very smooth. Right. So again, you don't have to keep your assets on that exchange. You could just use it as an on ramp and off ramp as a tool. So that's what people don't get sometimes with that. It can be very helpful to you just because it's centralized. It's not negative.
So our main developer, the guy who our number one dev, who's absolutely insane. He's from Canada. He lives in Canada. Pretty cool dude. We've had He built all of it. Well, most of this exchange he built himself. This way, he's a Canadian dev, the Canadian developer. But he's actually
some good ones. We seem to have some good ones up here, which is nice. I've met a couple myself over my time in the space, and yeah.
It's always snowy though, right? Is it always cold up there?
It is in the winter. We got a nice little bit of spring, it felt like, for a few weeks back 2 weeks ago, and then it dropped like 1.5 feet of snow up where, Buck lives. So yeah, it's rough.
Did you go to the Eve Toronto event? Did you see the Eve Toronto event?
I'm hoping to go next year. I know Caesar's going to be there. I think this year. Well, this year, not next year, like this upcoming event. I didn't go to the one last year, though. I know Caesar's looking to go to this one.
So we were featured there. The last one we were featured there. We had some real life NFTs so the CrolonMars NFTs, there's actual toys, and they were on the stall at the event with Shiba Cows, and you can actually scan them. They've got like NFC chips in the NFTs. You can scan it with your phone and it takes you to the CrolonMars website. It were pretty cool. I know Buzz and that they're going to the event from K9 Finance. I know they're going to the next event as well. Pretty cool guys. I've spoke to the actual event host himself. He seems absolutely down to earth as well. I would love to get out there, but it's just miles from the UK, right?
100%. It's a journey. We got some friends over there, and we're going to be making the trip out, I think, in the near future. But yeah, no, back to what you guys have built there. with regards to the swap. So have you had any launches or tokens kind of come through the protocol take off? Like that's another thing that often will like bring more volume, bring more users into a utility like that, is if you can get like one or two really reputable or solid teams to use it as a launching, no, it's not a launch pad, but just as like a platform to launch, and then push some support back your way or some notoriety back your way as the project is running. I mean, that could be really good. So yeah, just kind of curious there. And then what would be the fee structure or like the breakdown in terms of what does CrolonMars get from people launching through that tool?
Yeah, so we've had a few successful launches. What have used our launch pad with the auto LP lock, the token creator. It gets a lot of attention on Shibarium. You know what? I said to our community, because what we've built here is something different. So we are fully multi-chain, so anybody can raise a pre-sale on Ethereum, they can create a token on Ethereum, they can even add liquidity on Ethereum. Now, what's the difference? Why will people use MarSwap other than the number one DEX, which is Uniswap? Now, I said to my community, I said, look, I'm not going to stop building this because I believe in the system that we've got. So what is holding DeFi back is the high fees, right? The crazy fees. If there's some big whales in crypto, what move millions around, if I put it into that perspective, if somebody bought $1 million worth of Chainlink on or any of the token that had liquidity on MarSwap, they would only be paying 50 cents in ETH. It's a flat fee. As you can see here at the top, this one's in Cro, so it's a flat fee and a 1.2 Cro, no matter how big or small your trade is. Same as on Ethereum, $1 million buy on Uniswap would be $3,000 that you're paying 0.03% and detect project tokens to earn a profit. We don't run like that. We run on a flat fee model, and it's in native. So liquidity providers providing liquidity on the DEX, they don't have to claim or auto compound. All they do is provide an LP pair, for instance, with a wallet, and then the contract will do the work. They'll get paid back in native Ethereum or Cronos or Shibarium Bone, whichever pairs they're added to. So I think this is what's holding DeFi back, is the astronomical fees. So running a flat fee on the L2s, it's 10 cents a swap, and we don't take project tokens to sell for profit. It's in the native currency. Now, a lot of people say, what does that reduce ETH gas? Well, no, it doesn't reduce the ETH gas. However, it reduces that 0.3% fee that Uniswap or PancakeSwap put on top of the gas. Whereas we is just 10 cents on layer 2s and 50 cents on Ethereum. And we've got all different chains. It even aggregates. You can swap to Shibarium. Even got the little charts at the side as well. You pick, pick a token, I think a leash or something. We use Web3 shards, which them guys at CoinMerge. They do a lot for the Shibarium side. You can flick from Shibarium to Ethereum, from Ethereum BSC, Cronos, and Base at the moment. And then we're also working on the new ZK. But the latest feature, the latest technology that we've got is this here. It's called Mars. So it's a token and an NFT. You can see it's new. It's only been launched about 4 days now. So people can have NFTs and tokens, but trade it on the DEX. So like now, I can buy one. Let's say I want to buy one token, and it gets me one NFT, and that NFT is floor price of that NFT is $23 at the minute. It tells you this side. So instead of waiting for somebody to buy that NFT off you, you can sell that NFT straight into liquidity. Like now I'm going to buy one, so I'll do a buy live. So I'm going to confirm. That didn't go down pretty well, but put my slippage up. So like I'm going to buy an NFT, but I'm buying it on the exchange, right? And then I can sell it to the exchange. You know, this is the new 404, and it is in the white paper. So now I should be able to go and see my NFT somewhere when it loads. So this is my NFT that I've just bought. NFT
and again, like really, really easy, quick. After the adjustment, went through no problems.
That's the token that I just bought. Look, it comes with an NFT. You can transfer the NFT. It tells you all the rarities, different rarities here, like background, accessories, headgear, body armor. And you can list these NFTs, or you can just sell them on the actual DEX, or on any DEX where you've got liquidity. You know, you could go to the exchange. So instead of listing your NFTs and having them NFTs that nobody wants to buy, it's got a liquidity pool, so it's backed by the token. So you can just sell it straight into liquidity. And it's called Mars. And I think these are going to be a huge hit. So I've got the charting range up here. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Still looking good. We're looking
Cool.
at the two charts above each other in like the duplex view. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yep. So you've got the USD W Crow, which we're going to swap for, and then we've got the Mars W Crow, which this token is trading sideways at the minute. This is one we'll be marketing, is Mars over the next couple of weeks. Like I said, we've got AMAs with Cronos coming up. We've got some Discord marketing. And I'm also talking to Crypto.com NFT platform. This is the first 404 ever to launch on Cronos chain. So they're going to want to make some noise about it. This is just the beginning for this. If anybody wants to get involved, you can join the Telegram, ask questions. Obviously, do your research. But it is an NFT and it's backed by a token. You can buy as many as you want, or you can sell as many as you want. You can buy them straight away on the DEX, like so. The buy bot should go through chat as well. You'll see the buy bots coming through chat. So I think these are going to get a lot of hype. I think you're going to get a lot of hype in the Pandora did like 300 million market cap, right? That's similar. This one, this 404 is our own 404 that we created, which is, this comes as standard. You can have a tax on them. You can set purchase token. You can create metadata, or you can even add pre-made metadata. You can create your own 404. Take advantage of all the utility, because we're not going to stop building, right? We're just going to continue to build until we're up there amongst the top 100. I don't see why not. The team's structured, we're solid, we're delivering on utility. The metaverse is about to drop. And I think this new Mars 404 is going to catch wind and be one of the new metas on Cronos chain. I don't see another one yet, unless somebody can say that they have seen one. I believe that we are the first 404, and the first 404 of its kind, which it auto adds to liquidity, which means it's also pushing the price up. You're not going to get wrecked buying these, and you'll always be able to sell it. You're not going to get stuck with an NFT that's just being left in your wallet for ages, You can have fun with them, you can trade them, you can move them to other wallets. It's a pretty cool, but it's new, it's experimental. So like I said, do your own research on them. These are experimental, but they seem to be catching on. It's pretty cool.
I like it. And it's, again, you know, what you've showed us, I've been watching the demo just closely, really easy to use. The information post like launches within the same. Oh, we lost your screen there.
Yeah, I just clicked it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to let you know I wasn't sure. But yeah, no, super clean, man. So that's been a really good highlight of like the launch tool, like the DEX itself and some of the features that you guys have built out within there. I don't know if you wanted to, again, because I know you wanted to focus majority of the AMA on Crolon, on the utilities there, the metaverse and your 404 collection. I did also want to say the fact that the token's linked to the NFT, super cool. What's the use case now, or how does it function in terms of like, because the NFT has the token linked, can you use the tokens within the NFT directly in the metaverse once it's scaled out as like in-game currency? Like, how is that going to work? Again, just a lot of cool potential functionality features that can provide in metaverse. So wanted to jump that direction for the convo, if that works for you, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I just ended my screen for a bit so I could sit here and have just a normal chat now. You know, there's so much to go through, and sometimes I get lost with all the utility that we've got. But it's a good question because we've got a use case for every single thing. They all make sense in the ecosystem. In the metaverse, in the current metaverse, we've got in Unity, and it will also apply in the new metaverse, in the Unreal. Remember I told you you could set your mining rigs off, and you can mine a liquidity pool that's got ETH, and you can mine another token that's MSwap ETH, and you can sell that ETH. However, to be able to mine in the metaverse, so you've got like little mole miners, and a little mining rigs will start mining on the planet in the metaverse. But in order to get one of them, you need CrolonMars, and you have to purchase them with CrolonMars. So to purchase a mining rig, it's so many CrolonMars, but it's done in USD value in case, obviously, the CrolonMars hit like 100 million, and then people won't be able to buy, you know, a mining rig. Let's say they could get over 1 million tokens. So we rigged it to the USD value, but you need the CrolonMars token to buy the mining rig. And once you're set, you can just log in every 24 hours like you do on crypto.com, collect your diamonds, do some research in there. So you log into the metaverse every 24 hours, set your miner off, and it'll mine a set amount of rewards for you. Once you're happy with them rewards, you can remove them and sell them into the ETH pool. These new 404s, we haven't built nothing yet from, because obviously they're brand new. However, they will have some integration into the metaverse and come with some land plot and have some. We've got portals in the CrolonMars metaverse where you can jump between cities. So, you know, we can have like a VIP lounge for the 404s only. Because there's like a limited supply of them. But definitely we'll be backing them with some utility. But I just think at the minute, we it being experimental, you know, we don't know which way it's going to go, right? These are going to either hit the moon and just go absolutely parabolic. Everybody just loving it and selling it into liquidity and trading it. Also, percent goes back to the liquidity pool. So it's always building up that liquidity pool as people trade them. The more they get traded, the more they get swapped. You can buy 10 NFTs. If you don't like them NFTs, you just sell the token and you lose the NFT. If you like the NFT, send it to another wallet. Therefore, it's safe. You can trade the tokens. You'll not lose the NFT. It's weird. It's fun. It's new. It's experimental. But as of yet, we don't have no utility. But definitely for sure, we can add utility for them in the metaverse with some sort of VIP lounge. We've got in-house devs, you know, so there's not really nothing we can't do. We've got metaverse, game devs, myself, which is C++, C#. Then we've got Sean, who works on the exchange. We've got a pretty big team. There's around 20 of us now. We've all grown and we're all solid. You know, we all know what we do each day to move this forward. It's crazy. You know, things are starting to pick up again. And we're trying to wake the Cronos channel. I mean, we could have delivered these on Ethereum, right? We could have done it all on Ethereum. But I think sticking with it and building over these years has just proved that, you know, we're not going nowhere and we're here to build. We ain't just jumped from project to project to project. We actually stuck here for 3.5 years of his life. You know, some of the team are not they're not millionaires yet. And, you know, although the team want to be millionaires, so do the investors, right? So the team are going to continue to push until we get where we want to be.
I think that's the right mentality, man. Like I always say to people, you can't control the chart. You can't control how your holders trade or buy and sell on the chart. That is the beauty of a truly decentralized market that we're trying to pursue. But the one thing you can control, and the one thing I always say, is if you show up as a team or as a founder, as a developer, you know, we'll show up here on our side at Caesars to try and, you know, add support to you. I'm still working with a lot of projects and a lot of teams that, you know, we got paid for an AMA like a year ago, 2 years ago, right? And they did their half of the agreement, and they're still building, they're still showing up. So, you know, we try and keep supporting them and bringing them onto spaces, getting them the exposure and stuff. So that's the way it should be, I think, man. You just keep working. And once you guys kind of feel like you're in a good place, that's when you're going to push the marketing, obviously, a little bit higher. You built up some good connections in your time that you can rely on. And yeah, like some of the news with the metaverse that you guys have coming up in the next couple of weeks. I don't know what you want to share with regards to that, but, you know, what you told me is really exciting stuff. And I can't wait to see how people kind of respond to it.
Yeah, you know what? We've tried absolutely all sorts. You know, which thousands and thousands has gone into marketing. And I think what we're looking at now is more like, somebody said that I was crazy the other day, because I'm like, let's reach out to Sony, like Sony TV, which is like an Indian primetime TV adverts, right? And market the metaverse as a metaverse, you know, market the crypto to the crypto community, but market the metaverse to like, you know, like Roblox and stuff like that. I think that's the way to go, and go commercial, underground subways, leaflets up, and go for TV ad. I think it's like around $500 for prime time, you know, in Indian TV, and there's a massive population out there, and people said, "Oh, you're mad going." I'm like, "What? There's a massive population, you know, a population of over 1 billion. You know, even if 1% of them bought $10 worth of the token each, you're talking that's crazy million market cap. You know, so I'm looking into real life marketing, the metaverse, towards, you know, normal everyday people, and bring them into crypto. Once they see the metaverse, you know, they realize that there's a crypto and what's crypto. So we're trying to bring the general population in through the metaverse also. We won't stop at nothing, right? We're just going to continue to build and push out different avenues, like coming here on an AMA again. We were on a space wheel last week. What I once got told by a good friend that you probably know him, David Gottsan, once on a space with him years ago, and he said, "You know what I've learned? It's not about how hard you work; it's about being persistent." And that just kind of stuck in my head. You know, it's not about how hard you work; it's about being persistent. And you know, we've been persistent throughout the couple of years now, and we've got a thriving community on multiple chains, you know, that all interact with each other. I think that's just the way to do mass adoption.
I mean, David's a great guy. I know Caesar jumped into a space with him the other day, and he really liked the vibe that David has and kind of the educational aspect that he was pushing for the space. So yeah, those are good relationships to have and maybe be able to rely on if the time came to it. Now, with regards to the token, I do obviously like to tie back, some of the benefits to holders. Now, if you wanted to get into the Crolon token or more so Mars token itself, what are some of the as you guys scale up, as the metaverse maybe grows, you guys get advertising partners, other, communities looking to get into your metaverse. How do those fees kind of get deferred back to holders as a benefit, as like revenue and that type of thing scale, Ian? Because that is going to ultimately be kind of like the side benefit and what causes people to hold with you long term.
Yeah, so one thing is this. Look, this is what Casey. These are billboards in the metaverse, and we're going to push for advertising. Like Nike, Adidas, Louis Vuitton. Everybody's going towards the metaverse, so there'll be revenue from ads and stuff in the metaverse. But also in the meantime, while the metaverse is getting built, we want to give something back. So we have staking. You can stake CrolonMars, and there's a full 12-month staking period on CrolonMars. There's staking for MSwap. You can earn different rewards, and then we've obviously got the revenue share with liquidity providers where they can earn a percentage of the swap fees, these flat fee. This benefits because they're not selling the token to push down the chart. It's actually fees that are going on the flat fee and in the native currency of that chain. So, i.e., if it's on Cronos chain and people provide Crow liquidity, like you would on VVS, you can add liquidity pairs. You'll actually get paid in Crow, and you don't need to compound it and stuff. It does it all for you. And we kind of simplified it and made it a lot more user friendly, and that applies for all chains. This is the new V2 routers that we deployed. So all liquidity providers now, there's an incentive for you to provide liquidity, whether you're providing ETH liquidity, Crow liquidity, BNB liquidity. You get paid in BNB. You get paid in ETH just for providing liquidity. And take your liquidity as and when. There's no lock time. You've got everything to gain. And especially if you provide liquidity on a pair such as USDT Tether and Ethereum, with it in this time now would be a good time, because USDT Tether's obviously pegged to the dollar. It's not going to go up or down, so you're not going to lose money. However, Ethereum, we're off expecting it to run, right, if there's an ETF news or something like that. So while ever you're earning money and got it into liquidity staking, it's also rising in price. But you've also got that safety net with it being USD as well, if you pair it with a stable. So there's lots of opportunities to earn money and stake and stuff, and even just trade off the hype. Trade. There's numerous ways to earn money on MarSwap in the actual whole ecosystem. There's that many ways I probably forgot myself. We give so much back.
So many ways to earn, you can't even remember them all. That's
the thing. So I have there's 3 founders, and we have them so one takes care of the metaverse, one takes care of the DEX, and if we all agree on something that right, we'll do that. We'll give them for them rewards and stuff. We all make that agreement, and then that team runs it. So the team is solid right now. It's growing. The community is hyped. People are shilling. Just how you would want it. Just on the peak of the but people are saying that this could be the biggest bull run of all time. I don't know. You know, what's your thoughts? Do you think the ETF news is going to rattle the scenes? It seems to be, right?
Yeah. I actually made a joke to somebody just before, maybe like half an hour before the AMA when I was in DMs with them. We hadn't talked since like December of last year, just around Christmas time. And I've been working with his project since, what was it, it's been like 18 months or something. Which I don't even know, time flies in this space. But yeah, we've been working with him forever. And I was talking to him about the ETH ETF and, BlackRock. I could just pretty much call BlackRock Bitcoin, considering they're trying to dominate that market now too. But BlackRock is like sneaking in an ETH ETF. That the interesting thing about it is, if it happens, it's going to. I mean, it's kind of interesting because it will force, because of how they'll set it up, like all those transactions they run to be transparent and trackable on chain. So, I mean, anybody who's not for those like bigger entities, I mean, at least this puts them on more of an equal playing field in terms of like transparency of their books. But yeah, I've been following it. They're going to sneak it in. I don't think it's going to get much news coverage like these Bitcoin ones did, because, like I said, they want to be sure they can integrate and really kind of be in the ecosystem before everybody knows they are. Yeah, so I've been watching.
Yeah, I think I've been watching where the money's coming in. Cause the money comes in one way, right? The money always comes in through Bitcoin, and then it kind of filters through the ecosystems. And I thought to this, well, if an ETF gets approved, you know, it's not going to do justice to the ETH gas fees. It's only going to make congestion a lot worse, right? So I think the ETH gas, and people are going to flood into layer 2s, and this is why we've been adding all these layer 2s and stuff and making it for what the people want. BlackRock definitely want to run the show. They're doing everything. You know, they're slowly creeping their way in. You know, but they're kind of selling. They kind of ain't got the crypto vibes like we've got. You know, they don't know how to degen into stuff, right? They're probably selling on the way down instead of the way up. Their ETF investors. It's crazy, but who knows? I think this will be a good bull run. I've always said, when Bitcoin hits its all-time high again this time round, you need to be in and out of the market within 10 months. I should be holding for another 4 years. That's what I figure, but that's just me. You know?
My ETH entry is just starting to creep back to where I first got in, because Canada, we got the nice exchange rate if you're earning ETH, but if you're putting ETH in, it's not so nice of an exchange rate, right? Because you got that added 30% on top of what ETH costs, roughly, just base level. So when you're getting paid in ETH, it's good. When you got to put in ETH yourself, it's like, damn, well, I got to pay that extra 30% right now. So my breakout level is kind of around, I think I bought in around 3,800 Canadian. Oh no, 3,800 US ish, 36. I was like right around all time high, like when I went into ETH. So I've been holding a bag there for a while. I mean, I use some of it to trade here and there, so I've increased the size of that bag, but it's been held. I haven't pulled any out, at least until I break even on my initials. Like I gotta be a smart trader, right, Ian?
Exactly. You know what? It's exactly where I am. ETH it got so expensive. I remember getting a hell of a lot of ETH at all-time high as well, because I thought it was going to go. People like saying, "Oh, it's going to go to 10 grand and stuff like that." So I sold a lot of Shiba for Ethereum. I mean, even if I'd have still had the Shiba, it'd have still been worth same as the ETH. So it's just gone with the market. But I definitely think the Ethereum is going to come back way past its all-time. We could see 6,000 to 8,000, maybe 10 at the push. But I'm not down for these people that are saying like 10, 15 grand ETH. half a million Bitcoin.
It's got more value in terms of like what you can do with it versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a store of value, but gold's a store of value also, and gold's always kind of held its. I saw a very interesting. I mean, Michael Saylor brought up a very interesting point. I don't know if you've seen his recent interview. Sorry, we're kind of going on a fun little side journey here into crypto and DeFi, but Saylor went on a really cool, and I'm not going to call it a rant, just he was a forum he was leading. He was speaking at it, and he talked about how we're hitting the Bitcoin gold rush that he forecasts running all the way to like potentially 2034. And then the person doing the report went back and pulled a statistical breakdown of kind of where Bitcoin's at in its life cycle compared to gold. And yeah, the boom after it was like completely parabolic. And the TA, if you look at the two charts side by side, is like eerily similar, the patterns. Now, I am no expert in TA. I always joke, if you see somebody who's calling out meme coins and trying to give you Bitcoin TA advice, you might be in the wrong place. But yeah, no, that to me was just really eerily identical patterns to the gold pre-prospecting rush and Bitcoin, what he's saying may be running to 2034. So we'll have to watch and see to find that out, but
it's definitely getting more easier to access. Well, we were going through when we updated the DEX to V2, so we recently updated our routers to V2, and we're using all the latest technology on Wallet Connect V2 and everything. But Wallet Connect brought some interesting over there, and I'll show you actually. It's better me showing you. So they're trying to get people into letting people in from DeFi a lot more easier. So with Coinbase, it's connected to Coinbase. If you look on the DEX, let me just get the DEX main screen. So if you look on the DEX here, and when you're connected to your wallet, if you click on your wallet, now you'll notice they've got a buy crypto there. If you actually click that buy crypto, you're buying it from Coinbase. So Coinbase has added some APIs into the Wallet Connect V2. So directly from, we caught this early. It's only been released about 2 weeks. So we integrate it on the DEX. And it's pretty cool, because it goes to your Coinbase account. You can buy crypto directly, like boom, 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 boom. But I ain't used it yet. I just thought it'd be pretty cool to mention. But it's a cool feature, that Wallet Connect V2 has, and it can be found in a little place up here in your wallet. You can just look down and you've got buy crypto, and that links you to Coinbase. So Coinbase are obviously trying, to bring people in through easier to onboard in and out of DeFi, right? It's like a new on and off ramp, a DeFi on and off ramp.
And I mean, I don't know how easy it is where you are to do that, but I'll just tell you where we are. Canada sucks. They're not very crypto friendly. They make it extremely difficult. I've had a few friends, so I've been trying to tell them to get into crypto since I started this with Caesar back in 2021, and they know both of us, and they're just hesitant. But, with the markets turning, and I think the funny thing is the catalyst probably for them is like mainstream media is probably not shit talking crypto anymore. So they're like, yeah, no, it's a good time to get in. Who knows stuff about crypto? Oh, Maurice, let me just message him and, ask him some questions. So now I got my buddies like trying to ask me how to set up wallets and all this stuff. And one of them is actually just given up because he said like trying to onboard fiat now in Canada is just so difficult without going to Coinbase, which he doesn't want to go because like the way the private keys are held there. He's just like, yeah, I guess I'm not doing it. So I guess I'm not getting into crypto. I was like, damn. There's other ways, but I'll have to just show him how to use stuff like flues, and I just haven't had the time yet. So you could just buy in directly with fiat.
Yeah, they're cracking down. In the UK, I don't know, I've seen it's flying about, but apparently in the UK now, they've got the powers. If you've got your money on an exchange, they've got the power to remove that crypto from you. If the crypto's deemed to be doing some like wrongdoing, apparently the UK government can access like Coinbase and crypto.com and remove your crypto from the exchanges. But I don't know how true it is. I've just seen that in the news floating about people. You know what people are like, the people create fraud. I don't know how true it is, but I definitely know the UK government are cracking down and only letting you, you know, sell and buy 10% of your bags and stuff. You know, is it good? People were asking for more adoption. You know, is it a good thing? Who knows? We're building the new financial system as we speak, right? Like me and you are on this, and we're talking to 380 different people, all got the same interests, and you know we're all here for the same reason, right? Crypto can change many lives. You know, whatever background you're from, you could come from the poorest background, you know, the wealthiest background. It just brings people together, and you know, without even knowing it, we are building the new financial system, and everything will be digitalized at some point. You know, whether we see it in our life, you know, but we'll definitely contribute to that. It's just unique, right?
And I agree. Like it's a fun time to be living in. I think, you know, obviously most of us, there's some in the room here are obviously probably old enough to remember the big, you know, internet bubble, but that's the last kind of comparative, right? If you talk about technological booms and creating generational wealth. So yeah, everybody here is early still. And, you know, the thing I always push is the educational side, because, you know, if you don't have a lot of money when you're coming in, or you don't want to risk, you know, what you do have, even if you have saved up a lot of money because it's relatively new, spend your first couple of months just really focused on education. Understand, you know, before you get wrecked, understand what to look for. You know, there's a few different environments where you can do kind of closed trading, get a feel for it. There's certain utilities, you know, there's a lot of opportunity to like teach yourself and learn. And yeah, like the more you know when you start, the better you're going to ultimately be. And I think that's still the biggest gap in this space, is kind of just like the education level. And, you know, I get it. Money can go in, go out so quickly. Like you can literally throw $100 into something knowing absolutely nothing. And, you know, a week later, potentially be staring at 100K or $1 million if you're like super, super lucky in those, you know, very, very rare cases. So, I mean, I get why people don't focus on the education. They don't really understand, or they don't care to, because they know they can make money without it. But I think, you know, if you get some money through luck, or, you know, just kind of taking a shot without educating yourself, you're much more likely to lose it quickly. You know, you're not going to understand how to sell for proper price impact. You're probably going to nuke 20% of your own bag trying to nuke the full bag just based on, you know, price impact. So yeah, like it's, you know, the educational aspect is super, super important. So that's another thing, Ian, I wanted to ask you guys about, like what you're doing to try and help and onboard maybe newer people in, because, you know, with some of the utilities you've built out there is a platform for maybe first time or newer users to come into your ecosystem. So like, what are some of the tools you're giving them to arm themselves to be successful? And yeah, I guess that's kind of one of the last questions I'll leave to you.
Yeah, I think the one thing what we had to do, like if you look, the MarSwap Telegram, CrolonMars is yet to get it, is the blue ticks. Oh, 1 second. So
I don't know my password.
Well, give me a couple of minutes. Go and ask mine. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Yeah, I forget my password all the time to stuff. And
She says, "Can I buy some on Tokaboka?" I don't even know what Tokaboka is, but this is the thing, you know, kids, Tokaboka, Roblox. I think that, you know, they're all growing up on these devices, and this is one of the reasons why, you know, we're strongly on the metaverse, because I think everything will be in the metaverse. But yeah, back to the question before. We took our time to get blue tick verified on CMC. So we've got the blue tick, CMC, CoinGecko, Twitter, and even Telegram, the blue tick on MarSwap Telegram were important because new investors coming in, we all know what Telegram can be like. How many times have you been added to a group and you think, why does it say report at top of the... So I always make sure when new people come in, always make sure you're in the Telegram with a blue tick. CrolonMars don't have the blue tick yet, but the MarSwap Telegram does have the blue tick. But one of our partners also is called Shibarium, and they do a Shibarium University for new investors coming in. And this is something that we partnered with them because we strongly want to educate people on, like you just said, liquidity and price impact. One of our investors the other day bought something on a different chain, and it was wrapped with a different token. And they sold it to the wrong token and lost nearly $1,000 just because some of these platforms what are getting built, they're not doing the research and building with the correct tools. So it is important. I mean, even I make mistakes today, and I've been in crypto a long time. I remember once I sent nearly $20,000 to the wrong person, probably more. But luckily, I knew that person and I got it back. But it happens, And if we can educate people, we've got mods in the Telegram that are 24/7. Have been here for years, 100% trustworthy, and always help new people on board and see what it's about. So I've got my little daughter flying around behind me. I don't know what she wants.
You don't know the password?
Well, I'll give you a password. I'll be done in 15 minutes. So,
that's a long time as a kid, though, to wait to play a game.
She's wanting to buy something. I don't know what it is.
Oh yeah, my parents. I'm sure, I still. That's the thing with being older and having your own money, right? If you want. I never spent money on games as a kid because, I just save up my allowance on other stuff. But now it's you get a little bit of disposable income. I still play video games, with a couple of different friend groups across, the country just to keep in touch, more of a social thing. But I mean, the thing with certain games is it's all about the skins or the emotes or the thing is what makes it more trolly and a little bit more fun when you kill people. So. Yeah, I'm a sucker for that in-game currency and stuff, too.
That's another thing we're working on in the metaverse, a big thing. Like in Call of Duty, you can actually buy skins and stuff. So in our metaverse, we have got body armor, you've got attack Shiba Inus as well. That's a bit of alpha. So there's Shiba Inus you can on the finishing move on Call of Duty. Remember you used to get them crows or something, and used to peck at you, and you've got dogs that jump. So we're building all that, and we've got all the melee and everything done. It's going to be cool. We've got the developers working hard, and we've also got one person from he had experience in the early days with Rockstar Games, and he's the one who does the finishing touches and tells us if that's good enough for release and stuff like that. So you can expect a AAA metaverse coming out for CrolonMars. We've got the team. We've been here a long time, and we kind of cracked it now. So yeah.
So one of the other things, I think once you guys add some of those, I guess secondary market items in, it really does enhance the user experience. You start to get factions starting to build. Now, I guess there's still a couple things we could cover, but I want to just talk a little bit about the UI and the user experience that people are going to see when they jump into the metaverse. I noticed that when you sent over the kind of the flyover view, there's a couple different kind of main points of interest in there: a sports center, a fighting center. Obviously, I'm assuming there's going to be shopping malls, Yeah, I just wanted to get your take on kind of how that's going to function and what the experience will be like once immersed in the metaverse a bit more.
So I can give you a demo of it actually when we built it in Unreal, so you can, in Unity. Give me a second, I will start it up in 1 second. I'll share my screen. But you'll be able to get the feel of it from this, like once it loads. Turn my sound down a little bit. There's a little bit of eerie music because it is on Mars. That's if it's loading now. So these are FBX. These are the NFTs. So I can stop that now. But
no, that's awesome, man.
That is in Unity engine. So imagine that in Unreal with realistic and sci-fi is 10 times better now. It looks so much smoother, and I just can't wait to show it and release it. So there's a lot still to come. Yeah, it's going to be bullish, guys. It's going to be bullish. And I will make sure to come back here once we release the metaverse, but it's not much off finished. There's a few cleanups to do, and once it's been okayed by everybody on the team, then we'll drop it and obviously bug tested and stuff like that. Because the thing is with 3D games, man, you always get buggy stuff, so you have to eliminate them, and it's just tiring. 24/7 days, right? When you're doing anything 3D, it's just crazy. But that
can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my mic was doing the connecting spinning glitch there for a hot second, so I wasn't sure if it was going to come back on. So happy to know that it did. And yeah, no, let me know, as you guys kind of get ready for the unveil. It doesn't have to be a full, hour and a half AMA again. We could always have you back in here for 15 to 30 minutes, do a showcase, kind of have you walk through and talk to some of the points of interest, things that users can do in the metaverse once it goes live. Like, happy to coordinate that with you, future date, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? It's always been a pleasure, and I always find your channel. I'm always, when I get notifications on my phone, sometimes I ape, sometimes I don't. Just depend what mood I'm in. But I can, you can guarantee on your channel there's always something going off. I've been in that channel for a long time now, so we're going to continue doing these AMAs. Like I said, we've got one with Cronos themselves next week. That'll be a good one. I'll make sure you get the invite for that. We've got some Discord marketing, what we're about to do. Also TikTok. A lot of people, there's a lot of influence on TikTok now, so we're just getting started again, ready for the bull run. We've been here all the way through the bear. Now we're gonna utilize it in the bull run. And if I can make my team all never have to work real life jobs again, and at least 100 or 20 people in the community, I'll be happy. The metaverse, we can always build and adapt to that ever growing, because technology is always advancing. With the metaverse, it's always going to be there. We're always going to be able to do something and upgrade something or launch something or change something. It's always going to be, we could be sat in the metaverse doing an AMA with Caesar's Lounge with everybody on VR headsets and popping off. The future's bright for CrolonMars, and good community overall. At least you're not going to get wrecked anyway. I wouldn't say go and ape all your life savings in, but definitely worth 20, 30, $50. who knows? It could pop off. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, we're going to get 1,000x, because we might not do. All we can do is try, and, you know, we'll continue to do good things. But thank you for having us, Maurice. It's been a pleasure. And I will update you on progress. Like I said, big day tomorrow. We've got a massive meeting as well, so it might be
awesome. And then what I wanted to just let you know on, because I didn't end up, it's been a couple, we can chat DMs, like it's been a weird, like some stuff's been going on with me since last year, just offline. So some days I'm a little bit more available than others. I didn't get the tweet up as I would have liked. So what I also do is if I miss it kind of before, we just wait for the YouTube video to go live, and then we'll just kind of link it back to the Twitter once there's a live YouTube video. So for anyone who missed the AMA, we're actually giving them a landing spot for the discussion, right? It's not just like a blank tweet kind of talking about the project. Like they'll actually be able to go in and now view the AMA live on our YouTube. So maybe a day or two, it'll probably coincide very nicely, actually, Ian, for us with the space on Thursday, the utility showcase, because I know you're going to come in. You've been there for MarSwap. So, I mean, I'd love to have you focus maybe a little bit more on CrolonMars, the metaverse aspect of what you're building. But I know like Funk and those guys, you know, you have a good relationship with them at CoinMerge. So can't wait to get you in Thursday. And the tweet and the YouTube should probably coincide. Our video guy, Sirens, has just been busy helping his dad with some construction, like a renovation this week. So I was like, dude, go help your dad, man. Like teams are pretty patient for the AMA uploads. You know, it's going to get up, but, you know, helping out a family member when they need it in real life, you know, that stuff sometimes can't wait. So I told him just make sure he's helping his old man. And Thursday, I'll say, just as a rough estimate. So I'll get the tweet up and everything on Thursday, and it will coincide nicely with kind of the announcement or the actual space, but the announcement for the space will come out tomorrow. So I'll send that all over to you once it's live.
Absolutely, dude. It's been a pleasure. And once again, I will speak on Thursday. Looking forward to it, and take care, everybody. You know, stay safe.
You're really, again, hard worker over there, man. I know it's not easy building a project. I always joke you won't catch me doing it because it's a thankless job sometimes. You bust your ass, put in 10, 20-hour days some days, and, you know, to create some hype, to create some positivity, build, release stuff, and then, you know, second that the hype comes up, people are like selling on the hype, right? You're like, come on, man. I'm like, been busting my ass off here for 2 months to get that done, and you just dump on me. But that's the thing. You kept plugging through. You kept showing up, and I know, as you've said in the AMA, you clearly have a lot of excitement for what's to come. You obviously have passion behind this project, so you know, keep pushing it. And I'm hoping that some of these catalysts can really kind of have the charts start to take off, and you know, Cronos is definitely a chain that's showing they can bring volume in once before. Just all it takes is a few catalysts, right? Like, why not Cronex? Like, who knows? It could be.
And we've got the two most things that Elon loves in life. You know, we've got crypto, we've got Planet Mars. You know, we're definitely going to offer him his land. We all know what happens when even if he likes a tweet, you know, it's going to get to that time where he's going to be doing his nerdy stuff again, you know, his trolley stuff he does. So, you know, we've got definite potential to be a mooner. But like I said, it's just going to be patient, and we're going to build through it. Thank you once again, bro. And let's speak soon.
Yeah, you're a great presenter. You definitely love this project, and you put in a lot of time. And I like talking to you and hearing you present on the utility showcase. And you did a great job on the longer format for the Shibarium showcase that we had. So yeah, happy to have you on, break everything down. And, you know, next time we get in for an update on the metaverse, you know, if there's anything for MarSwap as well, because I know we didn't go into that as deep, and, you know, some of the things that Shibarium and that network are doing, the exciting things that are coming there, we can jump a little bit deeper into MarSwap as well next time too, maybe.
Absolutely. We're too big, right? We need a 2-week AMA.
Double header. We'll set it up. And see you on Thursday, brother. Have a good rest of your day, and hopefully you can get your daughter situated with that password situation. You know, you got to make sure she can get in there and get her games going.
Absolutely.